With all the remakes and revivals of classic PlayStation games like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Medieval and Ratchet and Clank, I wonder what's in store for Jak and Daxter. Yeah, this series has really been neglected. You can still get the Jak and Daxter collection on the PlayStation Store, but I have heard some negativity around it. But don't worry, there's hope yet, because quietly, behind the scenes, volunteer developers have been working hard at creating Open Goal, which allows us to play Jak and Daxter on the PC, natively, with no emulation. This is really something special. But what the hell is Goal anyway? Back in the dark ages, Naughty Dog were working on Crash Bandicoot for the PS1. To program this game, they actually went ahead and created their own programming language called Ghoul, or Game Oriented Object Lisp. Ghoul was the precursor to Goal, or Game Oriented Assembly Lisp. This new programming language allowed Naughty Dog to mix high-level programming with low-level assembly code, giving them complete control over what they were doing. Goal was developed with the aim of creating a seamless, dynamically loaded game, and that game eventually became Jak and Daxter. Naughty Dog was eventually acquired by PlayStation Studios, and after that Goal was left behind, since it was only really useful in the context of other goal-based games, of which, of course, there were only 4. Open Goal is a native PC port of the original Goal programming language, which is how we now have Jak and Daxter running on PCs. We shouldn't overlook what an absolutely momentous task this was. I hadn't even heard of this project until it was finally released a month or 2 ago. To run Jak and Daxter on PC, you need to make sure you own a legal copy of Jak and Daxter. Otherwise the police will break down your door and arrest you for piracy. Anyway, once you have your totally legally acquired disk image file, you can load it into the Open Goal launcher and play. The PC port of Jak and Daxter adds a good handful of quality of life improvements as well, to bring us up to some modern standards. One feature that was missing from the original game was the ability to skip cutscenes. Now you can skip cutscenes. This is absolutely amazing for those of us who have had to sit through these long cutscenes of Samus rambling over and over and over again.
Where did they go? Why did they build this crap?
We should be really happy with what we've got here, because having an open source game means we can basically do anything we want. I've seen lots of videos of simple mods popping up, which is what made me aware of this project in the first place. Various levels from other games being imported into Jak and Daxter, a few rearrangements of the levels. You know, it's only a matter of time before we get Kaizo Jak and Daxter. I had a go at importing some levels myself, and behold, the untextured cube level. You have to be careful with this stuff still, because it can deload or crash the game if you don't put it in the right place. There's also some more involved mods which have been created, like the microtransactions edition of Jak and Daxter, where you're required to buy all your moves using precursor orbs. There's a variation on this mod that takes this to the absolute extreme. Jak starts with no moves and must collect 6 precursor orbs to be able to jump. Well, when we start the game there's 6 orbs right in front of us, but we can't get to them, because we can't jump. This mod turns the whole game into a puzzle. Where do we go? What order do we do things in? Which orbs can we actually collect? And which power cells should we get? After gaining the ability to jump, Jak must collect 1,462 more orbs to unlock his spin attack, which will enable him to jump further and actually attack enemies. This is a very carefully calculated number. Maybe this can be considered a hard mode of Jak and Daxter. But saying that, I can't get past Geyser Rock, the first level. I'm stuck on this bit where you're supposed to double jump. There's so many fun, random and stupid things we can do with the game now. These challenges and mods add so much to the replayability of the game, and it shows how much more Jak and Daxter has to give. I actually think the randomizer is probably the most fun you can have with this game if you're already very familiar with it. This is a unique experience that challenges your knowledge of the game. The more you know the maps and the locations of everything, the more efficiently you can beat the game. Plus it skips all those power cell animations, so you don't have to watch Jak and Daxter doing something 101 times. So now we have our PC port of Jak and Daxter. What's next? Well, Jak 2 is a work in progress at the moment. Jak 3 will be ported eventually, and Jak X Combat Racing is on the table but a long way off, if it'll even be ported at all. The real potential is how these games can be modded, and there's new mods being created even as we speak. Open Goal is young, and the things people have already done with it show how much potential there is and how easily moddable this game is. Maybe we'll get completely original levels, full game mods. The sky's the limit. Jak and Daxter fans have had nothing for years, but thanks to those same fans, the future of the series is finally here, and the potential for what we can get out of it is virtually limitless.